Hey guys, it's Miranda Hughes here from Walking Your Worth. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, evening, night, wherever you're tuning in from. I'm not sure where you're at, but I am in the US and I'm in Indiana. And I don't know, I was in the middle of kind of doing an assignment and eating some food, and God just kind of brought to my attention that, you need to do a video on here. So I decided out of all the things, I'm just going to start working on the topic of dating. I am pretty random, but I'm going to be trying my best to be as consistent as possible. So hopefully this will get to you guys at a decent time. I don't really know how long it takes for YouTube to upload. But anyways, again, my name's Miranda. Nice to meet you guys. And if this is your first time on this channel, first of all, welcome. Second, if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and if you want to, leave a comment. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. So for this topic, I'm going to be talking about when to text a man back. And this one you might think is very obvious or easy to handle, but really it speaks volumes as to who you are as a woman and what you believe in, and men, pay attention to this, okay? So the first thing is, if you haven't yet, this is where you're gonna feel like a child, but really, trust me, it's gonna be a lifesaver, is you definitely wanna have a curfew or a boundary as to when, well, if you, not like a curfew, but just have a general rule or boundary for yourself in your own life as to when the cutoff is for when you are replying back to people. So let's say for, I don't know, I'm not just going to say myself, but I know a lot of other people that may choose 9 or 10 p.m. So if it's 8 p.m. for you or 7 p.m., depending on what your work schedule is and when you go to sleep, if you go to bed around 7 or around 8:30 or 9 o'clock, then you might want to set your boundary, your no text back boundary, by like 7 p.m. Simply because that gives you enough time to get ready for bed and to do the normal things that you do. So even though you're talking to someone that you're really excited to get to know and you guys have exchanged numbers, you guys are texting, first of all, if you tell him that, oh, you can text me up until 7 p.m., more than likely he's going to test you, okay? So don't be shocked if you have a text message from him that comes in right at 7 p.m., 6:59 p.m., or 7:05 p.m., okay? He's probably testing you, and he really wants to see how true are you to your word. And it's not just with texting and things like that. Like, men are very known to test many women in different ways, and that's just one of them. Again, I'll be doing a video on the different ways that men test women. Just like you, I have probably been played, stumped, fooled, or, taken for granted in all these ways and basically failed these tests. So that's why I'm doing them, so that you kind of know what to be on the guard for and what to look out for. And also just to change your own self, like in these areas, if you are making these mistakes, because like I said, it's not too late to change. If you have God on your side, he's going to help you with this stuff. You need to pray about it. He'll help you navigate, and he'll even help you, decide what to say and when to say it. So thank God for the Holy Spirit. But anyways, if a man were to, text you back at 7:05 when you told him that 7 p.m. is the cutoff, okay, he's not trying to be rude. He's just trying to test you. He's trying to see, okay, if I text her at 7:05, is she going to cave in on her own rule? Is she going to have boundaries and be firm in what she believes in, or stand firm in what the rules that she had set in her life? Because think about it. If he can basically, if you respond back to him at 7:05 or to 7:10 and you get back with him, even if you're trying to tell him, hey, don't message me, he's just checking to see if you get back with him, period. Meaning, are you going to break your own rule? So even if this is where it's really not fair, but it is something that guys do, and I've experienced this time and time again, I don't do it anymore. Tonight's a good example. I had someone message me and I didn't tell them what my time frame is, when the cutoff is. It's just, I know for myself that I need to keep that standard. So basically, if you were to cave in and tell that person, even if you're trying to do the right thing and you're trying to tell him, hey, don't message me, I told you, that I don't respond to calls or texts at 7 p.m. or later. Okay, well, you just proved to him that yes, you do, because you did respond. It isn't about what you're saying. It's the fact, are you going to respond, period. That's all he's checking. Because if he can basically if he can get you to cave in on your own rule for this minor little thing, imagine what it's going to be when he tries to get you to have sex with him and you say no. You're more than likely going to cave and say, oh, just this one time, or, oh, you just caught me at a bad moment or a weak moment. And it's like, no, like, this is how this transcends. And you got to be able to pick up on this stuff from the very get-go. So sorry that was kind of deep, but I just had to let you guys know this is how and where it starts. So the first step in knowing your worth isn't just, just knowing how good you are or how loved you are or great you are that God made you. It also, that's the main part, but the biggest part is like the small things, the everyday things. So for you, if your goal is to not get any more phone calls or texts after 7 p.m., or I wouldn't say but if your goal is to not respond to anything after 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., whatever time it is that you set for yourself, because you may have kids and you got to get them ready for bed. You may have pets that you got to tend to. You may have a business that you're running and you got to go over some documents. You may be trying to get into the Word of God. You may be trying to have a bubble bath or just, time to yourself. There may be a show that you like watching. The point is that this is where people will learn how to treat you based off of the way you treat yourself and what you allow and tolerate people to treat you. So needless to say, even if you're doing the right thing, it's the right principle, but it's not going to apply very well in this concept. Okay. A man is not going to care what you're really saying, but if you answer him period at all after the time frame that you told him you were not going to reply, that kind of opens the door to him to thinking that there might be other opportunities for him to slide in and get you to break more rules that you have for yourself. So when it comes to knowing when to text a guy back, like I said, this is kind of more for late at night, I guess, and why you need to have standards, because it's just a standard to have in general. You got sleep that you have to do. You got other priorities, responsibilities you got to take care of. Maybe you just want to take a longer time at getting ready for bed and just have an extra long shower, shaving your legs, doing a face mask, doing whatever it is. Maybe you just want to listen to music, or you had a bad day and you just really need some time alone. The point is that a man is going to respect you way more if you can respect yourself and follow through with the rules that you set for yourself. If you start breaking these rules just because he's cute and attractive, or I don't know, he's just some guy that you never thought would be interested in you, and here he is texting you, that's not a good enough reason. That's not a good enough excuse. He still needs to be treated just like anybody else, whether it be someone that you're crushing on, or it be an employee, or, coworker or something like that. If you tell your coworkers, your friends and family, your neighbors, your babysitter, anybody, if you're telling them, do not message me after whatever time you set, that applies to him too. A love interest, that applies to him too. Just because he's got your interest, doesn't mean he should be able to walk all over you in whatever way just because you find him attractive, okay? It's not going to end well. So I'm not going to keep this too long, but bottom line, set a standard for yourself. Try your very absolute best to follow through with it. If you go to bed at 10 p.m. and you keep finding yourself texting people around 7 to 8 p.m., then maybe the next thing you can try doing is bumping back your time frame of which you stop responding to calls and texts, and messages. So for you, if you go to bed around 10, you might want to try maybe 8:30 or 9 o'clock. And don't be feeling guilty if someone bashes you for not responding to them. I mean, you have responsibilities and priorities. Like, there's a reason that rule is implemented for that time slot of your life. It's because if you don't set a boundary, then you're going to end up being on the phone talking to this person, and then the things that you need to get done won't get done. And that's another thing that a man is looking at you on, is if you have children, pets, a business, anything like that, like, are you going to continue to be responsible and do the things that are necessary for you to stay afloat? Or are you, like, even when you're talking to him, or are you going to drop everything and everyone just because he's messaging you? That, again, in his head, makes him believe that you don't really have a backbone, that you don't have standards, that you really don't care much about anything else, like you're desperate for love. So maintain your life the best that you can, even when a new person that you're interested in comes into your life. But at the same time, don't forget to have that standard. Like, just don't forget that it's very, very crucial, very important. And like I said, it's just going to cause this man to have way more deeper respect for you. And it's just going to allow you to kind of pump the brakes a little bit and give you time to evaluate, how you feel about this person and what you're thinking about. Especially if you guys, here's another thing, just real quick. If you guys have been talking on the phone, let's say for 2 hours from like 7 to 9 p.m. and your cutoff is at 9:30 or 10, like I said, or even if it's at 9, let's just say 9 p.m. cutoff. If you guys have been talking from 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. rolls around, definitely do your best to get off of that phone. Even if you got to hang up on him in the middle of talking, you can tell him politely, like, hey, it's 9 p.m. I really got to get off of here. My schedule, or you don't even have to say that. You can just say, that 9 p.m. is the cutoff. I really got to go. I appreciate you talking to me. It was really nice catching up with you, or it was really nice talking to you. However, I got things that I got to take care of. So, good night. I'll talk to you again. And if he's still trying to talk or whatever, or he's like, one more thing, or real quick, it's like, no, I'm sorry. I really got to go. And if he doesn't listen, hang up. It's not you being rude. Because again, you don't know if he's testing you on that. And also, this reminds him and teaches him that you're not playing when it comes around to having a set schedule and routine. That also tells him that you have stability, that you respect yourself, you love yourself, and you care for the things that are going on in your life, and you're not going to allow anyone or anything, just because you are attracted to them, to interfere with what you've been building, working on, started, or what you have going for you in your life. And that right there is just a huge, huge respect. So, and if a man were to bash you about it or get upset just because you cut him off, he needs to realize, like, you did tell him a set time. You did stick to your word. He cannot be mad at you for doing that. And if he is, then move along, because he's not the right one. Okay? So I hope that cleared the air. I'll probably do another video on this, like a part 2 at some point, because I don't know if this is making sense to y'all. If it is, please drop below in the comments that you understand what I'm telling you. If there's something that I missed or something that you want me to go into further detail on, please, by all means, drop it down in the comments and let me know. Again, my name's Miranda Hughes. This is Walking Your Worth, and don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment or two if you want. If you've experienced anything like this, if you have a better way of keeping standards or anything like that when it comes to phone calls and texting and it's late at night, like maybe suggestions you might have to give to others, like drop them below. Nothing negative, nothing hurtful. And again, don't forget to walk in your worth. Bye, guys.